Welcome back to Elevation 44. I'm Beverly, or B for short. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. And if you're joining us on the podcast, hey. For those of you who do not know, we do have a podcast. So if you're into that audio-only content, hit me up on the podcast. You can find me at Elevation 44. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Amazon. So look me up there if you want to tap into the community there. Would love to have you. So today, I promised you in my last video, you wouldn't have to wait too long to see me, because we're diving into 2024 and the energy behind 2024 from a numerology perspective, okay? So we get busy with the astrology and we get busy with the numerology because they're both important, okay? So what we're going to dive in today is breaking down 2024, this 8 year, okay? We are in an 8 year. And the way we get 8 is we add up all the digits of 2024. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. And that's how we get to the 8th year. Now, in order to understand the 8 year, we have to understand what we just came out of, which was the 7 year. And I did a video back in early 2023 before I disappeared that talked about how the 7 year was going to test your faith. And boy, because it brings in challenges, it brings in hardships, but a lot of like emotional things, a lot of spiritual testing, a lot of inner testing. Not so much, yes, there's outer testing because the inner does translate to the outer, but it's more so like an inner beating. I like to think of 2023 or a 7 year as the roller coaster that you didn't sign up to get on. And every time you think that it was slowing down so that you can get off, it just took off again. And it's like, oh my gosh, one more thing, another thing, what else can happen? And it just got piled on and piled on and piled on. Again, to test your faith, to test your resilience, to test what you're made of, and also for you to learn certain lessons, what's working, what isn't working, what I need to change, what's in alignment. It was really about aligning you. So while it was challenging, while it might have been frustrating, and there were beautiful moments of 2023, I'm sure, for all of us, high highs and low lows, right? But what it was designed to show you is where the changes needed to happen, what you're actually really aligning to. Is it authentic? And to root yourself into something that is authentic, which is your faith, your belief, your whatever that thing is for you. The 8 year is taking all of the things that you learned in the 7 year and now implementing it. Now you know what needs to change. Now you know what doesn't work. Now you know what you're aligned with and what you're not aligned with. Now you know who in your life needs to stay and who needs to go, what relationships you want, what relationships you don't want, what working situation you want to be in, what feels fulfilling, what doesn't feel fulfilling. Boy, we have a lot more clarity now. We definitely do. So this 8 year, 8 is ruled by Saturn. So we got to get to work. It is about getting to work. It's about responsibility. It's about accomplishment. Big gains, but a lot of work. We got to put in the work. We got to put in the groundwork. And putting in the work doesn't necessarily mean slaving away or working yourself to the bone and fingertips until they're bleeding and everything like that. The days of that are long gone. We're working here mentally, okay? We're not having to work as physically hard as we once had to in terms of our ancestors and as people. Now we're doing the work up here. So it's about getting mentally busy this year. It's about balance. I apologize on the podcast if you're hearing all this audio of the paper flipping, but I gotta draw. So an 8, look at an 8. All right? An 8, well, I didn't draw this that pretty, but an 8 is supposed to be perfectly symmetrical if it's drawn correctly. If you turn it this way, same thing. It's also the infinity shape. And that has a lot to do with balance. Inner balance, outer balance. So last year, 7 year, we worked on a lot of the inner stuff. And now we're about to tie the outer stuff in with it, okay? So in an 8-year, this is, again, about balance. It's about decisiveness. It's about strength. And when I say it's about strength, I thought the perfect tool to help us learn about this 8-year and the energy that it brings is tarot. And I have my tarot deck out here. And I love tarot because it's a great tool, just like astrology, just like a numerology, just like other things, crystals, all of that. It is another tool that we can use to learn and understand, right? So in tarot, the 8th card in the major arcana is the strength card, which is, and look at that. There's the infinity symbol right above her head, right above her little crown, right? So 2 things. Number 1, this lets me know that the wisdom, the knowledge is what creates the balance, all right? She is also with a lion. A lion is known for its ferociousness. So this is a year where we take action, where we're fearless and we're decisive about what we're doing. But look how she's taming, like, look how tame this lion is. It's smiling, it's got its tongue out, it is just joyful and calm. So it's like representing that we need to be fearless and ferocious in terms of how we're going to attack and our goals and the things that we're working towards. But the balance that's required is that we have that inner strength that's still soft and gentle, and we know when to push and pull. We know when to have patience, when to push forward, because an 8-year can be fast moving. And this is the 8 of Wands in tarot, okay? Which, you see how fast these wands are moving? They're moving. They're moving. Things can go fast. Accidents can happen. Things can go awry because things are moving quickly. But we have to persevere through the process. No matter what's happening, we have to persevere. A lot of us have been in this mentality, right? This is the 8 of Swords. And this can persist in 2024. And the 8 of Swords is this woman. She's in here in this card. She's surrounded by all these swords. She's got this blindfold on. And it's like, look at the land. It's just like, whoa, it's me. You know, it's all dry looking, there's not a lot of greenery, but there's water by her feet. There's 2 things. First of all, these things that are tied around her, it looks like she's stuck and trapped. She's not. She can free herself and go at any moment. This is mental. This is all mental because swords represent mental. We are still dealing with a lot of emotional or mental things that are keeping us held back. And this is the year to free yourself. Take the blindfold off, take the things off of your body, shake it off, and free yourself. These swords are next to her. They're not keeping her trapped. She's keeping herself trapped mentally. So an 8-year will give you more of what you don't want if you don't figure out what you do want. I'll say that again. An 8-year will give you more of what you don't want if you don't figure out what you do want. It is a year of increase, a year of excess. And like I said, it's hard work, big results, right? So while you can increase in great ways, you can also increase in not so great ways. And this is one way, this 8 of Swords card and what that represents is a one way to increase in a not so great way. The last thing I want to show you, tarot card wise, to help you understand this energy, is the 8 of Pentacles card. And this card is about, look at him, he's putting in that work. He's got his head down. He's not focused on anything else. He's not listening to nobody else. He's not paying attention to anyone else. He is focused on the goal at hand. He knows what he's working towards. You know, he's got more clarity and he's hammering away. So consistency, persistence is what this year is calling for you. But guess what? I'm going to show you the 9 card. After he does all that work, this is what comes in the 9 year. Look at this. This is the 9 of Pentacles card. Look at her in her garden. Her garden is fruitful. fruitful. Look how lush that is. Look how lush and content she looks. Look, because she put in that work. He put in that work. Whoever put in that work, right? That's how it's intended to be. So don't squander this 8-year away. Really focus, hone in. Again, my motto for this year is consistency over perfection. We're not looking for perfection. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're never going to be, okay? It's about consistently hammering away at it, like my man is doing right here. Hammering away at whatever that is in your life, whatever that looks like, okay? We're all working on something differently. So consistency, patience, persistence, using that inner strength, that power, the balance. All of these words I want you to remember. Decisiveness, fearlessness, okay? We're not allowing our mental thoughts to keep us held back anymore. We're no longer operating in fear. We're moving forward and things are going to move quickly. Are you going to be on the right train, right? To prosperity and abundance and love and happiness and joy and fulfillment and alignment? Or are you going to be on the train to despair and to, sickness and to drama and chaos and all these other things? We don't want that. We don't want that at all. So next year, the universal year that we're going into is a 9-year. And that's going to be about completion. That's going to be about wrapping up the cycle. It's going to be about finishing what we started. It's going to be about our endings, to not only to end things, but to phase things out for a new beginning. It's going to be so beautiful. So we want to capitalize on this 8 years so that we can get there. So the personal year number is going to be another level of influence on top of our universal 8-year energy. So 8 is going to affect us collectively. We all feel this energy. But our personal year number is just another added layer of what we're individually going through. And each person is going to have a different personal year number. It's going to be either a number 1 through 9. And that's calculated by using your birth month, okay, and your birthday, and then the current year. So if you were born, let's say August 8th, 2000, and I'm going to write that so we can see it from, so 8/8/2024, right? So that is your birth month, birthday, and this is the current year, 2024. And then we're just going to add all those digits up together. So that's 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4, right? So that's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 24. And then we're going to take that 24 and we're going to reduce that down to another single digit. So we want to make sure we get all the way down to a single digit. So 2 plus 4 is 6. So that means that you would be in a 6 personal year. And I'm sorry if this is out of frame, but I am filming this from my computer, so it is a little hard to do it this time around. But you guys get the gist with me, right? So you're in a 6 personal year. What does that mean to be in a personal year on top of these collective energies? Okay, so let's talk about it. So if you're in a personal year 1, this is a year 2 where there is a lot of new beginnings for you, okay? Because 1 starts off a new cycle. So in addition to feeling everything we're feeling collectively, you are going to be focused a lot on starting new things, your independence, and also just experimenting with who you are, what you're doing. So whatever, again, area of life or focus that is for you, experimentation and independence in that area is huge, as well as just starting new things. So this is a great energy for you to maybe, I don't know if you're thinking about starting a business or starting something. An 8 year is really supportive of new businesses. So this is definitely going to give you some of that oomph to add with the 8 year. So just keep that in mind if you have personal year 1. If you have a personal year 2, okay, a lot of the energy that you're also going to feel on top of the 8-year energy is your interactions with others. That's what's going to come into focus. Your partnerships, how you're co-creating with other people, and co-creating whether that be in a community space, in your workspace, just how you show up in different spaces and how you use your energy and your skills, talents, everything to create with other people or interact with other people. So your partnerships are definitely going to come into focus. This is also going to be a year for you where is the double down on the balance, because 2 is also representative of balance. It's the yin and the yang, right? And so balance is really going to come into focus for you. So inner and outer balance is going to be important, and a lot of what you're learning through this year. Mastery of that balance. Personal year number 3. If this is your personal year 3, in addition to the 8-year energy that we talked about, this is going to be a year where you're literally working on your self-expression and your creativity, your joy, fun, just exuberating your inner life and letting it spill out into the world. So how you express yourself is a representation of what's going on within. So all of the lessons that you learned in that 7-year and the things you're just bursting out, authentically this year. And so in addition to the 8-year energy, that's going to be a lot of what you're feeling or focused on as well. 4, if you're in a personal year 4, on top of 8-year, and 4 and 8 go great together, as well as 2 and 8. So this is going to be doubling down on the hard work part. 4 is about building. It's about laying foundation. It's really about creating something solid, okay? Organizing, again, hard work. And this could be a year of great financial gains if you are focused. But you gotta focus, you gotta put your head down, like my man here. I'm gonna pull this tarot card back up again, like my man right here. This is you. And if this is you, okay, then this is you after. This 9 of Pentacles. This is you after. So, 4s, if you're in a 4-year, use this 8-year to your advantage. You can really win big, okay? But it's gonna take some work. If you're in a personal year 5, all right, this year can feel like a lot of change for you. And it could feel like a lot of change tied to your personal freedom. This is about breaking free. This is about adventure. This is just really about, I want to say you're going to be doubling down on that fearlessness of okay, I'm going to go after it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. It's just going to be, and it could feel like it's moving really, really fast for you, right? When we talked about that 8 of Wands card, where things are moving pretty quickly. It can be exciting, but it can also be a little unnerving. So again, just making sure that you're staying, grounded, but also just taking those risks, being fearless, being courageous, having fun, going on the adventure, saying yes is going to be important for you. 6, if you're in a personal year 6, this also goes well with a personal year 8. All of those even numbers, honestly, really go hand in hand with the personal year 8. But, with the universal year 8, excuse me. But this is a year where your service can come into focus, and working on your service with others. Your emotional awareness and how that plays into whatever you're building or whatever you're going after. Your home life, your nurturing, how you nurture yourself, how you nurture others. This can all be a part of the equation of that larger 8-year energy and what we're doing and what we're doubling down on, okay? So this can also be a year for you of financial advancement or abundance, if you're really, really wise on how you use this energy and how you use it to your advantage. If you're in a personal year 7, Okay, I don't want to. I know we just came out of the 7 year, so I don't want to make you feel bad. A personal year 7 is about a lot of testing, right? So while we came out of that 7 year energy last year, expect to feel or see little touches of that still happening for you, probably on a personal level. Probably not to the extreme that it was last year, just because we have the overall 8 year influence for the universal year, but there's definitely going to be some testing, a lot of still learning. This is going to be a major year of learning for you. And it could be learning in terms of implementing certain things and seeing how they stick or don't stick, or what works and what doesn't work. So it could be a lot more of that testing period. Challenges will come up. Your patience, again, is going to be required. Your inner strength, again, is going to be called upon in these times. But honestly, it could be a very advantageous time for you if you understand that it's more about a lot of inner work that's still being done, and that being something that's going to translate to your outer. So 7 year, if you're in personal year 7, keep that in mind. All right, so if you're in a personal year 8, now you just got double the 8 energy. You have double the 8 energy, and everything that we already talked about in terms of the 8 year is applicable for you still. Is just doubling down on that energy. So anything that's going on is going to be, I guess, not overemphasized. Yeah, I guess that's the right word. Overemphasized in terms of whatever is happening. So, the work, putting your head down and getting to work, or, the balance, the lessons on balance, the decisiveness, the fearlessness is just going to be even more emphasized for you, okay? And finally, if you're in a personal year 9, on top of the 8 year energy, this is going to be a very transformative year for you. And not transformative in the same way as the 7 year, but transformative in a way that you have implemented what you have learned. And now you're seeing the changes. It's a year tied to a lot of completion, wrapping up the things that we started before, and prepping for our new beginnings. So the endings, the completion, all of that is just a beautiful tying of the bow on a cycle that we're about to push to the side, because we're about to embrace something new. So you can be feeling a lot of things coming to a natural close for you, and you're excited and willing to put in the work that it takes to see those things to completion, so that you can start your new journey. So it is actually really, really great. It's going to be a good year for you. Some of those goodbyes or those endings can be emotional, and just know that there is much more coming and much greater coming. So just keep that in mind if you're going through anything that feels hard to let go of or close out. All right, so that is 2024 breakdown from a numerology standpoint. It's going to be a great year. I know, super corny. But next we'll have the breakdown on 2024 from an astrology standpoint, because I think it's important to understand all of it, and you put all the pieces together to help you. Okay, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you want to, drop a comment down below, let me know how you, if you learned anything new, number 1, and number 2, how you plan to focus on this energy going forward. If you're excited for it, if you're not, if you're still feeling a lot of the 7 year energy, go on ahead, tap in below. We're a community here. We're here to help each other out. I'm always open to taking suggestions on, more content ideas. So definitely hit me up there, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.